If you're on a journey to success, these are 10 people that you must avoid them for you to realize that dream that you're working for. Or otherwise, if you return back to them, if you be with them at all the time, hang around with them, don't blame anyone. And by the way, ought to watch this video to the end so that you understand exactly what I'm talking about. And by the way, it's quite funny. Everybody must have at least one of the personalities that I've discussed behind on the board behind me. Okay, let's get into the business. But don't forget, as I explain this point, don't forget to like this video. And by the way, it doesn't cost you nothing. Just like the video and also comment down below. And by the way, don't forget to as well, if you don't want to miss me any of my good videos, of which I do upload a video in every day, make sure that you subscribe down below. Let's get to the point. Number one, needy ones. These are the people that you're supposed to avoid them as much as you can. There are these people who will regard them as needy one. Have you ever met an individual, or maybe have you ever had a friend of who you maybe considered a friend, but this is an individual who at all the time is about needy. You know, I need this, I need this, I need the other, I need to help on this. Hardly will they ever even do anything by themselves. And you find like, okay, they are actually substituting your kindness to sort of your weakness or something of sort, and it's actually a call for them to be sort of lazy or something. Also, they just needy anytime. Hey, you know what, I'm running short of 200, would you mind sharing with me 200? I'm pretty sure I can assure you I'll return that I will. At all the time, they're just needy. There's no problem with helping people who are in need, but at the same time, it's good to make sure, hey, this individual whom you're having, hey, guess what, as much as of them being needy or something also, what do they give in return? Who are they and what can they do? And by the way, do they try by themselves to do something? You have to actually understand the situation that they are. Let's get to the next point. There are people who called doubters. Even if you want to try to do a business, no matter how crazy it is, let me tell you one secret. If you are lucky and you have a friend of this kind of a friend that whenever you tell them you want to start something and they're like, go get it. I mean, I'm there. Let's go. Let's go do it. Let's go do it. You know, that's what you said. You want to start selling some? Let's go. You want to start making burger? Fine, let's go. What do you need? What do you? At least, let's go. You see, but you have these kind of guys who are telling you all the time they're doubters. You want to come on board. By the way, I had such kind of a friend. You know, for me, I'm a risk taker. That's how I consider myself. You know, sort of a little bit above moderate risk taker. So I was like, okay, fine, we can do this. And I was like, will it really work? I remember when I was starting this YouTube channel, people were like, I mean, who gonna watch? We don't have like fancy cameras, you know, we don't have, how do we gonna do that? Do you even know how to upload videos there? I mean, seriously, okay, fine. How long does it take even to pay or something? You're like, damn, if you continue focusing on those things, we're not gonna do any action out there. And up to date, they have never started. They look at me, sometimes they come to me and ask me, how did you do it? What happened? You know, how did you start by buying cameras on something? So I say, no, you start with a cell phone. You start from there, you keep on pushing. They are doubters. They never buy any idea that you're selling to them. They always say, hey, it's gonna fail. They always draw examples of people who have failed in that what you want to venture on. I have an example of an individual who started that business, then they failed. I don't think it's a good one. By the way, rethink about it. And by the way, sometimes I usually have a problem starting a business with teachers and engineers. These people are tough. But by the way, all the due respect to engineers and teachers and what have you, okay? I do have a lot of friends. I know they are watching this video. Let's get to the next point. Number 3, takers. And by the way, according to an author called Adam Grant on the book called Give or Take, or Give and Take or something also, okay? He said, like, there are 3 types of people. We have the takers, the givers, and the matchers. Right? So if you have an individual who is always a taker, you know, there are guys who every time you give them, oh, thank you very much. Oh, every time they're just taker, they take anything and everything from you. Hardly will they ever say, hey, guess what? You ought to buy this. I remember I was challenged one day. I used to have a friend of mine who used to, you know, quite wealthy, by the way, if I may say so. That guy used to like, hey, you pay for my transport, maybe show up from a hotel. I could assume if they want to pay for the bills and all those kind of things. And I would say, I mean, you just have the money. I got nothing. I mean, after all, I'm your employee. So you just foot the bill, you know. Every time I could just, whenever I see the bill being placed on the table, I was like, I got some rich duty. I will cater for that. And one day the guy challenged me, told me, hey, guess what, Joseph? Let me tell you one secret if you want to make it this life. I say, yeah, I would love to make it. You know, guess what? Pick that individual whom you respect and they have something, and maybe one day invite them for maybe say a lunch or maybe an evening dinner and buy them, no matter how much it would cost you. I know you feel the pinch. But I'm telling you one secret, even those people who have it love to be appreciated. And whenever you show that little bit of effort, we tend to respect that. And it actually sort of creates that, an aura of, hey, this is an individual who, hey, if they had the capability that I had, this guy can actually do good. That's what we do. Even if you give them, can you imagine this? God with all his mightiness, he actually says we should give thanks to him. Just thanks to him. By the way, he's okay. He can survive without thanks, but he just needs those thanks. Just say thank you. Or just telling anybody out there, thank you. That's enough. Okay? And give something in return. Don't always say, hey, you just have something you ought to give me. Don't view it that way. Okay? Number 5. Number 4 rather, selfish people. Have you ever been with these individuals, whenever you were doing something, maybe you're going to a deal, there was a good gig out there, the person is actually trying to gain from both ends, from you, from them, from the business, it's like you getting into a partnership, into a business with somebody. Maybe you did, sort of contribute equally, and this person, maybe let's say you're the ground, the guy is going out. I remember we used to do this kind of a business. We used to run sort of a meat kind of a thing, and then the one guy would go out there, in the field, buy those animals, and then bring. So this guy, he never used to give us that at the best price, but perhaps we can budget like, maybe let's say a goat would go for like 4,000 or something of sort, and that guy could maybe is getting that goat for like 3,600, so there is 400 on top. He can't even share with us and tell us, hey, guess what, I'm actually getting these goats at 3,600, so there is an extra 400. Maybe we can channel it towards somewhere, or maybe if you're getting like 10, we can also get like another one extra or something. Like, there's nothing like that. Everybody is out there to gain by themselves, and this integrity, actually loss of this integrity is actually sort of affecting this social fabric for people working together and those kind of things. That's why you find our amazing Somali communities love to work amongst themselves, because the integrity aspect in them is quite amazing. Say maybe I want to import something from China. I have a friend in China, I'm in Kenya, okay? So I cannot like fully rely on that individual, because the individual is trying as much as they can to make something on their end. And I'm not saying they should not be making it, but they're making it in a wrong way. You see, you are paying them. Sometimes they make double from you. You pay them to actually disturb them to go look for those properties and what have you, ship them to their shipping agency and all those kind of, but they still want to do something on top of that. So you see, when you have that kind of an individual who is selfish and all those kind of, then at that particular point, that's not an individual who you ought to have in any cost. All right? Let's get to the next one. That is the point number 5. Now, people who are comfortable at their comfort zone. Have you ever seen some people who never love to disturb their comfort zone? You try to tell them, hey, guess what? It's not a must. And I love giving these examples. I once tried to go back to my up country and tried to do some different sort of a farming. I wanted to do some butternuts and this vegetable kind of a thing. You see, that piece of land used to be planted some corns or maize, and then beans and potatoes or something else, like this traditional sort of a thing. And I was like, this thing has been planted in this farm for the like 40 or 50 years or so, something of sort. And I was like, I can do something different. At the moment you show up there and then they see that you're trying to do something, they're like, oh, what are you doing? Do you think that's gonna work? That cannot work. We've been here for the like 40 years. By the way, has your father ever shared with you like his brother tried to do exactly that? Oh, you don't know that. By the way, do you know even your great grandfather actually tried to do this? It never worked. Do you even know the pH of our soil? Like they discourage you all over the place. It's like they just want to pull you down and remain in that comfort or something of sort. There are also people who are like that in life. They always love to blame anybody and everybody out there. Hey, guess what? We are just like this because of the government, because of the parents. We don't want to try anything. We just want to stay here. We're waiting for the government to actually do something for us so that we can eat and drink and something. Just they don't want to disturb any comfort. They just want to stay there. Or maybe you're trying to do something from your family. Nobody has ever done it, so you cannot be able to make it. That is not our thing. We don't do those kind of things. You just have you ever seen those kind of guys or individuals, something of sort? Those are guys whom you say they never love to disturb their comfort. And if there is something dangerous in life, it's actually staying at their comfort zone. avoid it as much as you can. Otherwise, if you keep on dwelling on your comfort zone, you never realize any of your shortcomings or the mistakes, and you cannot even explore your full potential. See, greatness is always made when you actually disturb your comfort and you take yourself a bit notch higher. When you actually elevate you sort of have to have some sort of an aspect of appetite of riskness or something also for you to be able to progress. Let's go to the point number 6, is that myopic people. Have you ever seen myopic people? Whenever you're trying to share an idea to them, they hardly go beyond 1 year. Whenever you talk about investment, they ask you like, how much will you be getting per day? You tell them, no, it's not about per day. It's about, long term. You tell them you can buy stocks, you can buy index fund, you can invest on treasury bills and bonds. They're like, how much do I stand to gain per day? Sometimes if I show you some of the DMs that I usually get from my clients, and then you wonder, and most of these guys are young people, they ask you, hey, Joseph, I have my 20,000. Would you mind showing me what I can be able to do and make a million bob in a year? And I was like, oh, god damn it. If I had that amount of money, I'll be making those millions. Come on. I'm not saying it is impossible, but obviously, we really don't do that. You get what I'm saying, okay? And again, you tell these people, hey, guess what? That's 20. How old are you? I'm 19. Okay, fine. You can do this. How about you target yourself for the next 5 years? By 24, you can have this portfolio of investment. And nah. 4 years? No, 4 years. And by the way, they will be shocked. 4 years will be down the line. For example, the age we are, we'll never be where we are. When you're at your 40, somebody tells you are at your 40. Just some few years ago, you were at your 20s. Now you are at your 40s. You see, when you deal with myopic people, you try to tell them, hey, guess what? Africa is the future. I can see if you can get yourself into this, Africa is building capacity. We need infrastructure. We need hospitality is not yet at the top. Still to do with medicine or the healthcare is not yet at the top. So if you can tap these areas, people are like, no, I just want to do something for today. I just want to eat today. It's okay. I also want to eat. But at the same time as I'm eating, I also want to think about what's the future. How can I progress? What can I do? Okay, what are the areas? Okay, fine. We don't have the millions to start those healthy. We really don't need the millions for now. We need to come with a concept. Okay, you are a graduate. You do something that medicine. You can start making content from there. You progress. You can get some money. You can start with pharmacy. You can start with this. You progress slowly and something of sort. For example, the guy whom I was selling the idea of starting YouTube channel, I was telling him, okay, fine, we may upload a new video today, nobody watches, even a month, nobody watches, something. But in 1 year, in 2 years, in 3 years, in 4 years, by the time you're talking about 5 years and above, we will be somewhere. We'll be having another source of income or something of sort. Then they cannot be able to see that idea. All right, myopic people. Number 6. Or rather, number 7, envious people. Envious. These are people who are very envious on what you do. They never congratulate you, and if they do, they're like, congratulations, oh, congratulations, They just feel like, that ought to have been them, ought to be, it's like, they feel like that winning is only associated with them. They're only one who is supposed to be winning in something of sort. They're just envious. Even if you tell them, hey, guess what? I started my own business, but guess what? I just quitted my job. They're like, yeah, you quitted your job. My friend, just wait on a second. You're going to see how it will go. They're just envious. They don't encourage you. And if they encourage you, they're actually looking there. We call it backbiting or something of sort. Yeah. Number 8, complainer. These are people who complain at all the time. They're never satisfied. We call them malcontent. Fine. The issue of not being satisfied, it can be good and bad at the same time. If you can be able to find a balance of what you're not contented about, in terms of you being comfortable, it's a good because it helps you to explore more. But when you're in a complainer, in a sense that at all the time you don't even feel like anything ought to be, thanked about, you feel at all the time your life isn't even complete and something also, you always compare yourself with some people who are ahead of you in a negative way, you're not laying any strategies, you just hate people who are up there, you feel like you're poor because someone is rich and all those kind of things, you just complain each and every time. No matter what country you will change, you think like by the government pressing a certain button, everything will fall into place. No matter where we place, even if we take you to planet Mars, you still gonna complain about it. Okay. Number 9, pessimists. These are the people who always see the glass is half empty. You told them we can do this. Nah, it can't. But we were, no, pessimist. That one does not need any introduction, guys. You understand? The last one, but not the least, is that opportunistic people. These are guys who take advantage of the opportunity that is out there. You know, if it's a call, but have you ever called somebody, they don't pick your call, you call them again, they don't even pick your call, but when they need it, they call you and they show you how much you're important to them because, you know, at that particular situation, they want to benefit from you. And maybe somebody maybe you called them sometimes back, they didn't pick, you call them again, they didn't pick. And again, they call you, feel like, okay, fine, they're calling now because I called them, they didn't pick. Maybe I'm expecting them maybe to probably apologize why they didn't pick, or maybe sort of explain to me why they didn't pick us. But they are like, oh, you are good, okay, fine. I was asking, where can I get you? Like, okay. Okay, I'm just here for all your needs, but not mine or something or sort. Okay. So be very careful you have those kind of guys because it really means a lot to them. It's a very simple thing, but if you can take it keenly, you can do something great and you can change. Anyway, guys, don't forget, my number is always on the description of this specific video. If you would like to invest in Africa or in Kenya to be specific, you can always give me a call. We can talk about areas where you can be able to invest and you can be able to progress to the next level, right? And also have my email down there. She can shoot me an email. We can have a conversation from then. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and comment down below. See you in the next one.